Hey Void, how you doing? Tiburzo here, and well, I guess I have one reason to stop procrastinating, as we're kind of snowed in today. So I'm off with a regular job, so I might as well do this job instead. Okay, the Mega Shark Collection. 8 movies long, so far all of them ridiculous. And we're on to the 7th of the 8, Shark Attack 3, Megalodon. Now, I will say this one didn't jump the shark, haha, as much as Toxic Shark, but wow. So far, this is probably my second favorite one on here because of just, I guess, sheer incompetence would be the best way of putting it. Okay, so Shark Attack and Shark Attack 2, I was actually surprised that they actually managed a connection. They don't even try here. Shark Attack 3 has absolutely nothing to do with Shark Attack or Shark Attack 2. Okay, I was expecting that. Now, the other ones, I believe, were more TV movies, or at least the original Shark Attack was. This one is a direct-to-video and fully embraces that R rating, and this movie cusses like a sailor. Which it mostly comes from the two scientist leads, which display absolutely zero scientific profession. They don't act like a paleontologist and a marine biologist. Well, actually, I guess one guy's more of a shore than more of a Coast Guard, so his makes a little bit more sense. But even then, a lot of their dialogue just seems almost juvenile, which is where a lot of the problems of the script of this movie come in. The writing, the dialogue is ridiculously bad. I mean, the movie's worth watching it alone just for how ridiculous some of the things these people have to say are, and the ad libs aren't any better, and in fact make it worse. I actually had to listen a character in all serious. The night before they're about to set out on their doomsday mission to face off against the shark, or, or just before they turn to the love interest, if you want to call it that. They have no chemistry, but well, I'm wired. What do you say we go back to your place and I eat your pussy? With no reaction from her, and then the scene just ends. And then immediately falls into a sex scene, so I guess this movie is just strange. I never expected a shark movie to feel like a fever dream. Anyway, I'm getting away from myself. Plot. What passes for a plot, anyway. Um, so, there's a beach down in Mexico where all of this takes place. Now, this is the whitest version of Mexico you can possibly find. But I digress. Our main character and his partner are essentially work security on the beach, patrolling, make sure it's safe for tourists. And they do a little recreational lobster diving outside their turf and find a cable that has been chewed through. Now, a cable company is in the area. They're working on setting up their big global telephone network or something. Something to make communication easier across the world. I don't know. Didn't really explain what their point was, other than making communication easier. But I find that the cable's been chewed through and find a shark tooth. Now, our main character isn't a shark expert, so he starts trying to figure out what kind of shark this came from. Can't, and just sends a picture of it to a museum. Enter our other main character, the paleontologist slash love interest, who sees the shark tooth, gets excited, and heads down there, as she's determined that this is from a species that is extinct. And since it's not a fossil he found, she wants to see in detail. And apparently, it's a megalodon. Now, for the first half of this movie, I was thinking this is the smallest megalodon I have actually seen. But they do actually address that. It took over 3/4 of the movie to address it, but they finally do. that this tooth is from a baby. So for most of it, it's just a regular shark attack movie with a shark that's normal sized, and then they bring out the really big shark later. I should also mention that a lot of the dialogue in this almost it isn't ADR'd, but it weirdly sounds like it is. Like there's just something that's slightly off, particularly with the characters' inflections and tones. It's just weird. Getting on a tangent. Okay, so after a little bit of investigation, they determined that the electromagnetic signal emitted from this cable is attracting sharks. And since it passes by a deep water trench, which is apparently where these Megalodon live now, it brought this one to the surface. But considering where this cable is supposed to run, once it goes active, it could flood the world with Megalodon. I guess. So then it goes into typical Jaws territory. You got to shut the beach down. No, like we can't shut the beach down. And then there's the evil cable magnet who's covering all this up. So the guy enlists his war buddy to get a submarine and start trying to torpedo sharks. This movie is weird. Not to mention when they finally bring out the Megalodon, it is mostly just green screening these little boats into just a blown up picture of a shark that's swallowing them, and it looks so silly. I will say I did have a good time with this movie, but it is not a good film. Shark Attack 3, I'm gonna give it a 2 MacGuffins. Just because it was bad, but it was entertaining enough that I can't give it a 1. It's hypnotic. Alright. If there's anything else to say on this one, watching it for the dialogue is really where this one's at. The script in this one is going to be one of the worst I've seen in a while. Alright. Have a good day, everybody.